Namaskar all. We are coming almost to the final lap of this marathon program. I request Dr. Anand Ramanan, President of Sri Ramanashrama, to speak a few words about the program and also because of the COVID, how much it has been difficult, but so effectively run. Let us hear from Dr. Anand Ramanan.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Dear sisters and brothers in Sri Ramanaya, we have had a wonderful 28 hours celebrating the 141st Jayanti of Sri Bhagavan as a virtual function due to the COVID-related pandemic, as Mohanji said. The problem of COVID resulting in lockdowns and social distancing has resulted in the shutdown of our beloved ashram and the need for this virtual celebration. We have been following the WHO guidelines, which do not encourage allowing the elderly, pregnant women, or children under the age of 6 in closed buildings. In our beloved ashram, the principle of one for all and all for one is one of the founding principles. So we have continued a very conservative, cautious approach towards the reopening. I take full responsibility for keeping the ashram close to the devotees. Any punishment Bhagavan gives me for this, I will bear. Even the loss of one life is one too many. Now on to some good news. The first few vaccines are approved in the West and will be approved soon in India. And as a medical doctor, I assure you the efficacy is very good. So brothers and sisters, a few more months and we'll be all back to the good old days. Now I know that patience is abundance for one on this path of self-inquiry, especially our devotees. Now, we, the devotees of Bhagavan, will not let a crisis go to waste, will we? So, the idea of a virtual celebration of Jayanti took root, and by the looks of it, is here now to stay forever. It started with a morning Parayana, and 28 hours later will end soon with Aarti at the shrine. For all of you at your homes, away from the ashram, I'll pose a rhetorical question. Are we ever away from Arunachala or Sri Ramanashrama? I'll quote from Day by Day. When Shiva Mohan Lal asked Bhagavan as to why is it easy to fix his thoughts in the ashram, while at his place it took a long time and much trouble to do so. He said, why should it be so? For Bhagavan is everywhere and he is Antaryami. Devaraja Mudaliar then interjected saying, quote, though God is immanent everywhere, he is more manifest in some objects or places than in others. Bhagavan had the final word. He said, ask Muruganar, who's here. He has sung a song wherein he says, Ramanashramam is not simply here for him, but is there everywhere. Muruganar then read the following stanza from his own work, Ramana Deva Malai, which translates as quote, "Because by his grace, the mind has attained quiescence and remains calm everywhere, as it used to remain at Sri Ramanashramam. Wherever I may go in this world, it is for me Ramanashramam, to which even Devas go with keen desire. Ramanashramam is Chit Akasha, which is everywhere, and to which we gain access by killing the mind." End of quote. Bhagavan then said, "Time and place really do not exist. Even in the radio, we have a hint of this truth today. We have Hyderabad here. What is sung there, we hear here at the same time as if it is sung here." Bhagavan again said, "Where is time and place?" Michael James, in his beautiful talk today, put the same principle. He said, "What is Arunachala? Is it a physical mountain of rocks?" He said, "No. It is a supreme space of pure awareness wherein everything happens. All forms appear in it, are sustained by it, and are destroyed by the space. All God's jivas are contained within Arunachala. And Arunachala is ever shining, dancing in our heart as our pure sattva, the self." Professor Swaminathan has translated a Tamil verse from Guruvacha Kovai, verse 259, very succinctly and poetically. Thus, I'll read it out. Quote, "You cannot know or measure that. One without a second, perfect whole. This heart, thought-free and bright with bliss, is Annamalai, myself." End of quote. Lest we all think that it was the experience only from the golden days when Bhagavan was in his physical form, I have more evidence of it even in our times. Our own musical genius, Ilayaraja Anna, has composed and sung a moving song. In Tamil, he says, "Enge sendralum ennodu varum nilave." Translates, "Wherever I go, you, Bhagavan, come with me gently as moonlight, constantly showing me light of guidance to live my life." Today, by this satsang, with representation from every continent of this earth, we are convinced that Arunachala and Bhagavan are everywhere. For where the devotees are, Arunachala is dancing in their hearts, and Bhagavan's grace, a certainty in their lives. Today, I'll also take this opportunity to pay tribute to the three preceding leaders of Sri Ramanashramam, the presidents. Each one is unique in fashioning the destiny of our institution, the heaven on earth, home away from home, each leaving the ashram stronger at the end of their lives. The legacy of Chinnaswamigal was brought out by the excellent speech of Srimati Mangalam. Chinnaswamigal was a model of strict integrity. For him, Bhagavan was God incarnate, and even for a second, he did not take liberties with him as a brother would with a sibling. His penchant for quality and excellent eyes for detail can be seen in the quality of the construction of Matru Putreshwara temple and the new hall. The use of Burma teak when ashram had empty coffers meant that the woodwork to this day is in perfect condition. Devotees still marvel at the quality of the stone carvings. The sound acoustics are second to none. He had a perfect sense of history and its preservation. Just the acts of acquiring the birthplace of Sri Bhagavan in Tiruchuri and the house where Sri Bhagavan attained self-realization at Madurai are enough for a lifetime of legacy. His sadhana was, however, to be toiling away in the office, completing mundane tasks while the highest spiritual miracles were happening a few feet away. Today is the Samadhi day of the second president of Sri Ramanashramam, Swami Ramanananda, formerly known in his Purvashram as T.N. Venkatraman. He is the second president of Sri Ramanashramam. He faced the onerous task of taking over the ashram with empty coffers soon after the physical demise of Bhagavan and Swami Niranjanananda. The atheist movement in Tamil Nadu at that time meant there were many frivolous but prolonged legal cases foisted on the ashram, which were faced by him nonchalantly due to his complete faith in Sri Bhagavan. Under his stewardship, there was organic growth of the ashram. His smiling countenance and his booming laughter is still remembered by many. He was the extrovert of the three presidents to this day. He was a loving, aspirational father to his 7 children and especially to his 15 grandchildren. We are all in gratitude for this. Last year's June, it's 2021 today, the third president of Sri Ram Ashramam, Sri V.S. Ramanan or Sundaram, merged in Sri Bhagavan. He embodied the highest form of servant leadership. He was determined not to come between the devotees and Sri Bhagavan. He was fond of saying this statement all the time, is to say, our job is only to clean the shoes of the devotees. The ashram had the maximum growth in every term under his gentle leadership, and he never took any credit, as he knew rightly, it's all Bhagavan's act. Many of us feel his presence in the ashram even today. I also want to thank my uncles, Sri V. Ganeshan and Sri V.S. Mani, for their years of service and continued guidance to the institution. Sri V. Ganeshan made us all shed many a tear today by his moving speech on Bhagavan. His physical service to the older devotees in their last days is exemplary. My mother and sister Aruna continue to be the representation of the Shakti element in the ashram by their quiet service and refined tastes, which are missing in men. Thank you so much for that. The role of the technical team in bringing this function across various time zones, across every continent in the world, is nothing short of miraculous. Where are limitations of time and place for such people? We can plan a 48 hours or even 72 hours online satsang, Mohanji, the next time with such talent. My Shashtang Namakarams to all the devotees who performed, who contributed to the success of this function. I think the youngest one would have been 3 to 4 years old. The oldest would be around 90. I'm especially in awe of the performance of all children today. Sri Ram Mohan wrote to us and he said this: the children have given confidence that Kali Yuga is coming to an end and Satya Yuga, presided by Bhagavan, has dawned, just by the performance of these children. I will conclude by answering the genuine concerns of many devotees about the financial health of the ashram. I am personally touched and am in deep gratitude of all the devotees. However, I'd like to assure you the following. Your ashram, our ashram, has never been stronger than today. And it will only continue to grow in strength. For when we have the best devotees in the world, chosen by Bhagavan himself, what can go wrong? An institution is only as strong as the sum of its parts. And you fellow devotees are amazing. I also want to make a request to people watching the function who don't have a satsang group in the place where they live. Let us go and establish a satsang center at your place. I assure you of any help from Ramanashrama in the establishment of such satsangs. I'll personally come to visit you. Finally, I'd like to conclude by saying what an honor of my lifetime it is to serve you all, and through all of you, my Master Sri Bhagavan. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Thank you.